Hello everyone, my name is Sheakey. I'm 25 years old, and 14 weeks ago I had a gastric bypass on the NHS after going to the healthy weight management clinic run by the dietitians here in Runcorn and Halton, etc. This is just a little video to explain how my experience was, what happened before, what happened during, what happened after, how I'm feeling now, my relationship with food, and just generally how I am. I really sorry. So, as I said earlier, 14 weeks ago, since I had my operation, I went for the gastric bypass. And yeah, when I started, I was 211 kilograms, which works out around about 33.2 stone. 14 weeks on, everything has gone fine so far. I am now 165 kilograms, which works out roughly about 26.1 stone. And so that is 7 stone and 1 pound gone in 14 weeks. So that's pretty much a pound a day. Some days I haven't lost any weight. Some days I have. I think my biggest loss to date so far is about 4 or 5 pounds in a day. Now, some people work really hard for a fortnight to burn that off, and all I had to do was wake up. So yeah, so it works. It really works. But as I'll explain further on in the video, it's not a magic pill, or it's not a magic thing. It is a tool. So just be wary of that, really. Yeah. How I got fat is a question I get asked all the time, and for me, I've always been quite a big kid. However, my weight really started piling on when I was 17 and I passed my driving test. I was 16, I got a job in a supermarket, I wasn't paying any bills, I had £500, £600 a month expendable income, I had a car, and I also had friends that drove, and we used to meet up at the Asda car park and we'd go into McDonald's every night. Whereas my friends were playing sports, I wasn't really, and still I'm not really a sport fan. And so yeah, so it was literally a slippery slope once I passed my driving test, which is 8 or 9 years ago now. So that's when I put majority of my weight on. It's a weird one really, because you wouldn't expect it to be my weight at 25 just from McDonald's, and it wasn't a case, because I always remember being a big kid, but through no fault of my parents, through me just eating extras, I always used to finish my sister's plate off. I used to finish my parents. If it was in the kitchen, they'd always used to hear the knife fork going. And I think it's just that relationship I had with food as I grew up, really, because we had plenty in the house all the time. There was always, I wouldn't say there was always loads of snacks and sweets and crisps, but there was always plenty of food to be eaten. And so yeah, so really it was when I was younger, but not as young as what you would see, probably about 17, and then yeah, being 33 stone at 24 years old is quite daunting really, and quite scary. And when the doctor is there telling you, you really need to do something because you are shortening your life, then yeah, it's a hard one really, to be so young and to be hear that. So that is literally probably one of the main reasons why I went through with having surgery. So yeah. So I'll try not to go through the whole process with the dietitians, because obviously you guys are, I'm hoping, or you guys are pretty much on your way to having surgery and are now discussing it. Obviously you're at the bariatric classes to gain more information about it. But yeah, my hospital experience was, I don't want to say amazing as in it's really good, because nobody likes being in hospital, but it was really good. It was effortless. It was smooth. It was probably the best you could ever hope for when having any type of surgery, really, whether it be life-saving or such as bariatric surgery, which is life-saving actually. So I don't know why but yeah, so I went in on Tuesday morning. I went into a waiting room. Unfortunately for me, I had to wait and sit in this room for 7 hours before I had my operation. I didn't have a bed ready. But yeah, I had my operation about 4:30 in the afternoon. I was awake by 6:30. back on the ward for about 7:30. And then, yeah, it was just a case then of just making sure I took things really slowly, really small sips of water to begin with. Then I had chicken soup the next day. I only stayed in for 2 nights. I was in Aintree Hospital in the Sefton Suite, which is the private part of the hospital. But yeah, it was really good. All of the surgeons, they come and see you. The registrars come and see you. The dietitians come and see you. And it's just a feeling of like, you know, they're there and they'll help you with anything, and they're more than happy to answer any questions you have or any concerns you have, really. But yeah, the hospital experience was you know, I couldn't have asked for it better. It just felt like, you know, the people behind it were really good at what they did, and so that made you feel more comfortable, which in turn just, you know, again helped the whole experience. So yeah, there's not really much to talk about because nothing exciting happened. So yeah. So how do I feel 14 weeks on after having a gastric bypass? I feel bloody amazing. I'm not going to lie. I feel absolutely amazing. You know, I've still got a long way to go. I've still got quite a long way to go. You know, I'm 26 stone. I want to be ideally anything under 15. So, you know, potentially another 11 stone to go. Probably won't come off in the same time, in as little time, but, you know, it's just about chipping away at it. But yeah, I feel like I have a new lease of life. I feel a lot healthier. I feel better getting up in the morning. Even little things like getting up in the morning with a lot more energy than I used to be is just, yeah, it's amazing. Another thing, I'm already through 2 sets of new clothes since having the operation. I bought some new clothes. They got big on me. I bought some new ones, and they're now getting big on me. So I'm living in jogging pants at the minute, in cheap jogging pants, because there's no point in spending an awful lot of money if it's going to continue to come off as fast as it is doing. But yeah, 14 weeks on after surgery, and I'm flying. I'm not going to lie, I'm flying. I have read that, you know, don't forget, not everyone's experience is going to be the same, and some people may have different experiences than I have, but all I can say from my point of view and from my end is that, yeah, it is the best thing that I've done in my life. It's saved my life, it's made it better already, and it's only going to get better. You know, I'm able to do a lot more things. I went on a push bike for the first time in 10 years. You know, even little things like I don't fill my car as much when I drive. My knees used to touch the steering wheel, and now there's a big gap between them. So yeah, it's the little things I think as well that make it. But yeah, I feel absolutely amazing. Yeah. When people find out that I've had my bariatric surgery, they always ask me what my biggest achievement so far is, and I'm like, well, it's having the surgery. You know, it's a big leap. It's a massive commitment, especially if you have the bypass. Well, most surgery now anyway is irreversible, but you know, it's a massive commitment. So I would always say probably that is my biggest achievement, is making that step to have the surgery. But if you really want to know my biggest achievement, it's getting in a canoe and canoeing once a week now. I've never really had a burning desire to canoe before I had bariatric surgery, but I was given 2 big proper inflatable canoes, and they had an 180 kilogram weight limit on it. So obviously when I got them I was 211, so I was 31 kilograms over. Sorry, I had to do maths then. 31 kilograms over the weight limit on it, and now I'm under it by 11 kilograms. And yeah, just being in a canoe is just mad at my size. I get some funny looks, but I think it's more like, wow, look at that guy go. He's canoeing, and he's a big guy. You know, fair play. So yeah. So my biggest achievement is having the surgery, and then my second biggest achievement, if you like, is starting to canoe, which is a very weird one, I know, but yeah. In terms of complications, I don't really think I've had any complications whatsoever when it comes to anything to do with the surgery, whether it be, you know, scars or whether it to be eating or anything like that. I have experienced dumping syndrome, and that's something I'm going to talk about in the FAQs, just because I can talk about what people think about it and what it actually is and how my experience is. But apart from that, that's all I've really had. The aftercare was brilliant with the doctors and stuff, and the surgeons and the nurses while I was in hospital. So no complications in hospital with anything. Nothing to do with the operation or anaesthetic, which is all great. And yeah, so it's really short this bit because I've had no complications so far. Touch wood, 14 weeks in, but yeah, I think I'm past the point now where something is going to happen. So yeah, so it's good. This was something that I was going to leave until the FAQ bit at the end, but I want to talk about it a lot more, and it is my relationship with food now after surgery, and what my life is like now after surgery. It's very different than it was, quite drastic actually. I'm eating very small amounts of food that is low fat, low sugar, pretty much stuff that's good for you. So I am eating chicken, very small piece of chicken breast. Red meat is okay. Bacon, it doesn't sit with me so well, but I've tried it and I've been okay. It made me feel a little bit queasy afterwards. So if you want a typical day for me, I wake up, I have half a Weetabix. That's all I really eat. It's half a Weetabix and a sprinkle of raisins with skimmed milk with the red top. I always used to drink green or blue. Now it's skimmed milk or 1% fat milk, which in Asda is like the orange top or something. Then for lunch, I'll have something like a pasta, but it'll be a very small pot of pasta. No more than 4 dinner spoon size, with a little bit of protein, so that will come from chicken or something. And then I'll have sweet corn, a little bit of onion in it. No dressing, no mayo or nothing. It sounds a bit boring, but stuff like that's quite high in fat. And then for my tea, I'll have more protein, so I'll probably have another form of meat protein that's like low in fat, so turkey. I do eat quorn now a little bit more than I did. I'm still not my favourite, but yeah, I still eat that. But yeah, so but what you've got to get used to is that it's not just about eating small amounts of food. It's also eating, the speed at what you eat it, the size of what you eat it is really important, because after my surgery, certainly, my stomach is incredibly much smaller than it was, and also bypasses part of the small intestine, and so it's a lot harder for you to eat quickly, and you'll find that if you do eat quickly, then you will feel quite ill after it, like you want to vomit it back up, or you feel really full, and you can start feeling it in your chest, and it's really uncomfortable, and so it's all getting used to it, because I used to eat my food really quickly, and that was probably one of the hardest things that I had to get over. But it still goes, because you've got to remember that this is for the rest of your life. But it's not. I don't want to make it sound really drastic and like, but yeah, it's good and it's okay, and you'll be fine with it. It's just a case of getting used to it. It's changing a habit of a lifetime, isn't it? Really, I've ate quick all since I was a child, and to then have to slow down and cut my food up, I'd eat a sausage in 3 bites, and now, I've not tried a sausage, but I guess, I'd probably be only able to eat half of one, and it would take me about 15 minutes or 10 minutes to eat one. So it's very different life with food, but it's okay. It's manageable, and it's okay, and yeah, it's good. You'll be fine. That's the main thing that people are worried about. As long as you don't start going blending chocolate and Mars bars and stuff like that, of the horror stories that I have read, then you have nothing to worry about. So don't worry about that. So what I mean when I say using bariatric surgery as a tool, and what you will have explained to you, is that as much as you lose weight really quickly in the beginning, it will slow down, and you will have to exercise to then enable you to continue to lose more weight. I quite often hear dietitians say, "Oh, it's not a magic pill," and probably it is a magic pill for the first, 3 or 4 months, because the weight really does come off really quickly. As I can say, 7 stone in 14 weeks is unbelievable. But I've now started at the gym. I've started swimming. I've started cycling, and I've started canoeing. And I think that is what has made me lose as much weight as I have as well is my amount of exercise. But once you get into a regime, it's so easy to do and to fit it in, and then it becomes part of your life then, and then you actually, I used to hate going to the gym, and I used to hate having to do any form of physical exercise, but I find myself now, I run up the stairs, or I'll take the stairs instead of the lift because I can, because I'm not out of breath as much and stuff like that. So it's the little things, and it's just starting small and getting big, and then before you know it, you'll be running 10Ks and half marathons and maybe even marathons. So who knows what's in the future? But yeah, make sure that you get exercising as much as you can, and at your own pace. It doesn't have to be exercising to anyone else's pace that will kill you. But make sure that it's very important that that you have to exercise for this tool to work, and it will stop working if you stop exercising, and then that's when people start getting disheartened, when the weight gain happens and stuff like that. So yeah, so just important to keep that, and keep an open mind about exercise, that you will have to do it at some point if you want it to continue to work. Everyone is different, and everyone needs different things to make them be motivated and to help them in life. Is bariatric surgery right for me is a bit of a weird question to say, because only you can really know if it's right for you or not. You could mentally be thinking, oh, yeah, this is great, and then if you do have it, and then you could struggle. So really, it's based on individual cases, and you can discuss this obviously with your dietitian and with the doctors, and if you get to meet the surgeon as well, you can discuss it with them and before you have it done. But I would definitely think about having a look about all the options, see if you can do it without surgery. If not, or if you feel like you want this, like I did, then yeah, go for it. But everyone is different, so yeah. Again, what is best for me is another weird question, in terms of like people asking what is best for me when really they should know what is best for them. In terms of surgery, it's definitely worth discussing with your dietitian and then your doctors, and having a look up on the internet. Maybe not at some of the horror stories you read, because again, everyone's account is different. Mine has been absolutely smooth sailing and perfect. Some people have struggled, but don't let that put you off. Talk about it and have a look at it, and do your research before you can definitely know what is best for you. But again, everyone is different, and so what works for one person may not work for the other, and vice versa, and so on. So yeah. So this is a question I actually seen on the internet. Is dumping syndrome real, or is it just a scare tactic used by dietitians to stop you eating from bad food? And I can honestly say that dumping syndrome is very real. I'm not going to lie, I gave into temptation, and I had half a dairy milk with Oreo, and I thought I'd try it. And at first I was like, okay, I can stomach this is fine. But shortly after, I started feeling quite not very nice, really. I had sweats. I had a tummy ache, which is tummy ache like you when you're a child and used to have tummy ache, not a very good one. And then obviously when you do eventually go to the toilet, it's not very nice. To say the least. So yeah, so dumping syndrome is very real, and that happens obviously, as you all know, when you eat something that's high in fat or high in sugar, and it's just your body's way of literally, as it says on the tin, dumping it and getting rid of it out of your body. So yeah, it's very real, and it's definitely not a scare tactic, and it's something that I don't want to experience again soon. So as much as people think it may be a scare tactic, it should, if you do experience it, you'll know why it's not. You'll know why you shouldn't eat them things and what it does to your body, because it's not a very nice feeling. But that's not a complication, so that's why I've not mentioned it under complications, because that is just a side effect of something that I have done, not a side effect of this. Well, it is a side effect of the surgery, but it's I wouldn't have had that if I didn't eat the chocolate. So yeah, so I mean, I have tried. I have had a square of dark chocolate now and again as a treat, and that's been fine with me. But I think I ate more, probably half, maybe a little bit more than half of a whole chocolate bar in a very quick amount of time. And so yeah, so my body did not like that, and got rid of it very quickly. So yeah, so dumping syndrome is very real. Can I ever go out for a meal again? The answer is yes, you can, and you can enjoy your meal as well. I've since I've been eating sort of like solid foods, I've been out for about 2 meals, and I've only ordered a starter, but that has been just enough to fill me up. In fact, it's probably more enough to fill me up in one occasion, that you feel satisfied. But if you ask for it to come out at the same time as everyone else's main meal, you don't feel left out, and you're not eating while they're not, and so on and so forth. Because, as you know, with the surgery, you have to start taking your time to eat. So you're eating this starter-sized portion at the same rate that this person across the way from you is eating their main meal. So there's no awkward moments where you're sat there waiting for them to finish because you finished your starter-sized meal. So you still have that social aspect, and you can still go out and enjoy yourself and have a meal. So yes, you can go out for a meal after bariatric surgery, and you can still enjoy yourself and have good food. This is probably the second other thing that is brought up, and the main concern from everyone is the skin after surgery. Now, you've got to think of it like this. If you are going so far to have surgery to reduce your weight very quickly, then you have to take the good with the bad, and you have to accept that you may have excess skin that you will find unsightly. But that is not to say that in the future that you can't get rid of it. Now, I must point out that obviously you will have been told that to have it done on the NHS is now not hard, but you have to be struggling with it really badly too, because it's not, I already have bat wings under my arms, and it's not affecting me because I was quite outgoing when I was bigger, and I'm still quite big, so I'm not embarrassed of who I am, so I will go out. But I've seen quite a lot of people who have lost all this weight, and they've not gained any self-confidence because now they're ashamed of not being fat, but ashamed of their sagged skin. But I see it as sort of a medal. You've lost an incredible amount of weight. You've increased your lifespan. You've made yourself healthier. So a bit of sagging skin, to me personally, is the least of my worries. But that's not to say that I won't in the future have it removed when it does get, when I lose more weight, because if you've gone so far, then why not crack on with it and go on further? But yeah, my skin is, like I say, I've got bat wings under my arms already, and I no doubt I'll have them sort of on the inside of my thighs and my belly. But I'm not letting it bother me, because that just then takes all of the excitement out of losing weight and getting fitter and healthier. So yeah, I don't worry about that. But other people may, and again, it all goes down to everyone else's own experience. But I wouldn't worry about it. It is the least of your worries, I think, so. Would I recommend having surgery? I'm not going to even go into this as much. Yes, I would. If you have the opportunity to have it done, and you want to lose weight and become healthier and use it as a tool, have it done. Simple. And to end it all, am I happy? Yes, I am. I'm very happy. And mentally I'm happy. I'm happy with how I am progressing. I'm happy how I am as a person. I've actually found myself that I've grown up quite a lot, even in such a short space of time, because, I began to realise how important life is and how important your health is, and it's made me make decisions that otherwise I would usually go the other way and make the wrong decision when it comes to my eating habits. But I'm very happy, and I'm made up that I had it done, and I'm just excited now for the rest of my life to crack on doing the things that I've always wanted to do. So yeah, I'm very happy after having bariatric surgery, if I haven't already mentioned that already. So yeah, that was the video. That was all the things that I thought was important to talk about, and what I probably would have talked about if I'd been there in person. Again, I'm really sorry that I couldn't come in. I really wanted to, but I had to text Eileen today, the day before I was supposed to come in, to say that I can't make it. So that's why I've made this video, because I didn't want to let her down, and I wanted to make sure that everyone knows what they're going into and whatever. If you do have any more questions or anything, Eileen may try and get me in again, and I'll definitely answer them. But just make sure that you're happy, and that you're going into it with an open mind, and that you know what you're getting into, because it is a big thing, but it's an amazing thing, and that's all I can say. So yeah, so good luck, and I hope everyone is is excited as much as I was. I was really excited, and then once you get your operation date, that's when the excitement really kicks in. And I got my operation date 24 days before I was having surgery, and it was the longest 24 days of my life. But afterwards, it's been the best 14 weeks of my life, so it makes up for it. But yeah, good luck, and I hope everyone has a good day. And thanks for watching my video.